Hi everyone and Happy New Year. In this video today, I'm going to talk about the 2025 housing predictions that are expected here in Fairfield County, Connecticut. I'm going to go through three main items that are going to indicate where the housing market is going to move here in Connecticut throughout the year 2025. I'm Jennifer Lockwood, your local realtor in Fairfield County, Connecticut. And if it's the first time in my channel, make sure you hit subscribe and the bell to be notified of any upcoming videos. So let's talk about where we expect 2025 to go. I feel that looking at 2024 and the trends that have occurred in this past year will indicate where we're going to some extent in 2025. We've also seen very common trends since 2020 in this area in particular. You will hear all across the country different housing predictions because in some parts of the country you'll see more inventory depending on the locations. Real estate is local. So what you are experiencing in other parts of the country may not necessarily be happening in your particular area. And here in Fairfield County, there's going to be three main indicators as to where the market's going. One will be interest rates, two is inventory, and three are home prices, really reflecting home affordability. Now, real estate in the end comes down to supply and demand. And if we first start with the topic of inventory, we have been struggling to get inventory on the market for years now. And we really don't expect that to change in 2025. Here is a chart for all of Fairfield County single family homes in 2024. In the past 3 years, how inventory has decreased. But in 2024, we've stayed pretty consistent. That still is down by 4% from 1 year ago. You can see that as homes come on the market, they get absorbed by the market. Buyers are out there, still high demand, looking for houses in the area, and the scarce inventory is making many of them go with multiple offers and a competitive environment. Here is one other chart showing you how fast the market is moving in Fairfield County. And in 2024, the median days on the market was down to 14 days. That's just 2 weeks. Demand is high and the supply is scarce. We are not expecting a big influx of inventory coming to market. And one of the main reasons for that is the second item I wanted to talk about, which is interest rates. Now, interest rates, we expected to come down more than they have in 2024 because the Fed policy said they were reducing rates 6 times this year, which they did. Now, the Fed policy and the cut in the federal funds rate impacts long-term mortgage rates. There are many other economic factors that impact those rates. Jobs numbers and inflation is one of the biggest items. And because inflation has been stubborn all year, yes, it's lower than it has been in years, but it's still not coming down to the level the Fed would like to see, which means they are going to slow down their federal fund rate cuts in 2025. They were saying a couple months ago they were expecting 4 rate cuts in 2025. Well, in December, they announced they probably will only do 2. So what did that do? That made investors and the markets uncertain about the future of the economy and the inflation rate going into 2025. And that made mortgage interest rates go up. And right now they're the highest they've been in the last 6 months. Many top economists are predicting interest rates in 2025 will be hanging in the 6% range. I always say I'm not in the business to predict interest rates. It really is going to depend on the economy. But I personally don't feel that unless interest rates start to reduce and go below a 5.5% number, that is when you will see a change in inventory. Because right now, people are sitting in their homes around a 3% mortgage rate. They may want to upgrade or downsize, but to go from a 3% to a 6.5% or 7% interest rate doesn't make financial sense. So many of them are waiting. Once that interest rate gets something a little closer, maybe 5.5% or 5%, we may see more people come to the market. And that's what is making inventory so low. It's because so many people are not buying and selling to upgrade and downsize. They're just kind of hanging tight in their house. And without interest rates changing much, I suspect will stay the same. We will have the same amount of inventory come to market as we saw in 2024. So I do expect it still to be a competitive market. And this also is indicated in the month supply of inventory, this chart here for Fairfield County, where you can see a balanced market is 5 to 6 months of inventory, where you have an even number of buyers and sellers, and we are still very much in that seller market range at only 2.5 months of inventory, meaning it only takes 2.5 months to sell the inventory that is currently on the market. The last item is home prices. Now, we saw a big jump in home prices during the pandemic years, and it has been slowing down, although it is still increasing. Still has to do with supply and demand. Without having more supply, people still want to buy, and it is pushing home prices up. And it really just comes down to that. Here's a chart of Fairfield County for 2024. You can see home prices still went up by 6%. So we're not seeing double-digit increases, but we are still seeing increases in home prices, which will affect home affordability for many home buyers. My advice for people trying to buy homes or sell homes in 2025. For home buyers, be prepared. We always say it, have your pre-approval ready, but know what you can afford. Follow the interest rates because that will affect your monthly mortgage payment. Know what parts of town you want to live in. Do your research on the market and make sure you're working with a local realtor who understands the market and how to get your offer accepted. It's important to understand how to make a compelling offer, understand your contingencies, what you're willing to let go of so that you can win that offer over someone else. And for sellers, still an optimal time to be on the market, but overpricing is never a good idea. It is really important to understand market value, where to price your home, and even more importantly, to prepare your home for sale. Because even though there's high demand, buyers aren't just going to buy anything. They want to still have value in what they're buying. So very important to have your home prepared and make sure it's priced right. Now, if you're thinking of moving to the area, I've done many other videos about the area and living here in Fairfield, Easton, Westport. So make sure you check out some of my other videos, and I hope you find the information helpful. If you'd like any more detailed information, I'd be happy to help. Feel free to reach out anytime.